Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys a reading today, which is called Heart's Embrace. So this one, this is a tarot spread that I created that's actually featured in this month's February newsletter. And if you guys haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, I will put that information down below where you guys can do so. Because every single month I do feature a spread that I don't put anywhere else, on the internet, as well as a ritual and new moon and full moon information, and also just anything that's, you need to be updated on if you guys are interested on me, anything that I'm offering, new products, things like that. So anyways, you guys just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. I'm using decks here, I think that are all Amazon affiliate links, so I'll put everything down below. And today's Organite is this beautiful, and I think this is called the Aphrodite Rose Organite, created by Michelle from Bell's Wing and Bell. So anyways, let's jump right into the messages. Now, the way that I created this was for the month, and I realize it's now February 16th. So we're just going to do the energy when instead of it being this month, we'll just say just at this particular time. So self-love is the first thing that we're going to go into. And this is, what can I do to enhance self-love and care this month? So let's look at this. So this is, remember, just right now. What can we do right now to enhance self-care and enhance self-love and care this month? So this particular deck is called Wisdom for Healing, I think, by Carolyn Miss. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on outside right now for whatever reason. There's like a bunch of construction, the trash truck. I've moved rooms, by the way. My stepson, he's officially a Marine in the military, and so he is off in his training. So I've kind of taken over his old room and transformed it into a reading room, because I know that during the holidays you guys were like, the cats are jumping all over the place, and I'm in the garage. Now I'm finally in my room, but you will probably hear some of the cats crying because they want to come in. They want to come and fuck some shit up. So yeah, that won't change. Anyways, let's get into it. Self-love. What can I do to enhance self-love and care this month? Let's look at this. All right. Accept life's challenges. Whew, that's a hard one, right? But this is a really cool deck because on the back here, it's talking about the lesson. So let's go ahead and read it. It says, reflect on the things you've been called upon to endure in this lifetime. Remember that we're all presented with obstacles as a way of helping us grow spiritually and serve God, universe, however you guys want to take that. Your goal is to examine the challenges in your life and make peace with them. Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of the most difficult things to do after we are done being angry, after we're done maybe blaming everyone else, which if we think about it, sometimes people do bring shit into our lives. So it's like, is it our fault? No, not necessarily. Is it our fault the way that our parents basically did what they did? No, it's not. But it's not about blame anymore. You finally get to a place where you're just like, okay, I'm accepting that the shit that has happened to me for a reason, and it's really helped me and shaped and molded me into who I am today. And I'm thinking of plenty of things in my past where I'm just like, I feel like such a victim. I had so much hatred towards those people, etc. But I've finally gotten to a point in my life where I've chosen to take those lessons and empower myself through all of the hardships that I experienced. So I feel like that's what that's telling us here. So let's go ahead and get a tarot card on that one. This is called the Angel Wisdom Tarot. All right, let's go ahead and see. What is this accept life's challenges about? Oh, I love that. The Six of Swords. Oh, it's so beautiful. The Six of Swords, it says the end of challenging times. Things are looking up. A welcome relief. Finding your way to a peaceful place. The end of depression or an illness, travel or relocation. Yeah, it's funny because sometimes when we leave where we've lived our entire lives, we feel like we're going to just maybe somehow feel better. And even though stepping away from surroundings that remind you of certain things and experiences can be helpful, whatever you got going on inside doesn't go anywhere. So you can run, but you can't hide, right? I left California. I lived in California. Gosh, I was born and raised in California. And I moved out of California in 2010 to come here and be with my current husband, which is Mr. Moon. So I've been now away from California for 14 years. And it's interesting because, I have so many memories and things, and also family and friends that live in California. But stepping away, even though it temporarily kind of, shifted some things for me, it didn't all go away. I was still very much dealing with the inner turmoil. And it's taken years and years to finally kind of get over the rocky storm that was brewing within. So anyways, I'm just throwing that out there as an example. Some of you guys may have relocated just to kind of find out that, oh, the pain's still there. I'm still attached to this person or this situation or this pain. But if some of you guys are looking to, also it's like if you're in a situation, like you're living with someone or you're working in a place where it's very toxic, sometimes we do have to get to a point where it's just like, you know what? There's nothing more that you can do to change yourself or to work on yourself to adapt into this environment. It's so toxic. Sometimes you just have to leave. And so I feel like this is telling us that we've got to make some moves for ourselves. So if you have to step away from someone, you have to move out, you got to switch jobs, whatever that might be, then that's what you need to do. That's a self-care move right there. You're not running away necessarily. You're just taking care of yourself, or you're giving yourself some space so you can breathe to even start to adapt any kind of, healing or just, anything like that. So I feel like this is telling us, though, that the storm is calm. Is the storm really over? Does our shadow ever go away? No. And it's always there, The pain is always there. So to pretend it's not there is kind of like we're going backwards. We're suppressing. But I feel like what this is telling us here is that we can try to at least move forward in a more empowered way and, at least start to carve out that pathway towards healing. It's not necessarily a destination. It is an experience. It's a journey. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get another card because I wanted to get 3. So let's see what else can we do to enhance our self-love and care at this time by perhaps just realizing that, the worst is over, or maybe we do need to separate ourselves from something. Oh, we have clear out the debris. Ooh, it's like a knight coming in with the broom and just sweeping out the shit. So it says, engage in psychic cleansing. How much debris do you carry in your energy field? Debris is generated by irritation, stress, unfinished business, and mental and emotional toxins. It's distracting and disempowering to the healing process. Your goal is to release unnecessary thoughts and emotions. So whatever this thing is that's not helping, you're not weak for needing to step away from it. Sometimes that's the healthiest thing to do because, I've heard this statement before, especially when you're dealing with toxic people such as narcissists, where you just cut them out, you stonewall them, you don't answer their texts or their phone calls, and people will say, that's so cruel. You can't just leave people hanging. Look, when you're dealing with certain types of people with personality disorders that are looking to basically mess with your mind and manipulate you and suck you back in and hoover you and all these other, names that go with, or these terms that go with narcissists, some of you guys that dealt with these know, you've got no choice but to just cut all contact, be done. So this to me is just telling you that if there is someone highly toxic or a situation that's highly toxic in your life, there's no amount of you changing yourself that's going to, it might help you feel better and more empowered, but you cannot really function in a healthy, proactive way dealing with someone like that. You just can't. You have to just, it's very black and white. You have to cut them out of your life and just be done and go no contact. So I just feel like there's something here that's saying that instead of berating yourself or even letting that person or allowing that person to make you feel guilty for taking care of yourself or saying no to them or cutting them out, because they'll do that too. They'll make you feel like you're the bad guy. The best thing you could possibly do is to just separate yourself, maybe physically, from this situation or this person. And of course, you guys, like I said, take what resonates. This may not be resonating with you. But clean out the debris. Get rid of something. I'm also getting that too. Get rid of something. If you are holding on to something that represents nothing but pain and suffering, it might be time to just get rid of it. And that could be pictures, mementos like letters, text. It might be time to clean it out, guys. I love this Knight of Swords. This right here is Gemini's energy. It is time to just make a choice, a clean break. Take that sword and just cut your way out of the debris. Like, so I am getting here, there's something physically that needs to happen here. Yes, it can be mentally, but I'm getting it's probably physically more than anything. You need to come in and you need to make a decision, and you need to be defensive, and you need to, that's a defensive move where you're putting up your defenses and you're saying, no more, I'm not doing this. So it says, this is about choosing to use your intellect over your emotions. So it's the time for being emotional and empathic and understanding. Those days are over. They're over, okay? This is like survival now. You got to do what you got to do, even if it's cutthroat, in order to take care of yourself. That's just the way it's going to be. And last one, choose to heal. And the thing is, we are the only ones that can heal. We have to choose to heal. No one's going to change in order to, then that will help us to heal. No, we have to choose the healing on our own. Okay. So this says here, this is a day to reflect on troubling emotions and transform them in a positive way. Love this. Identify one unresolved area of anger or hurt and ask yourself why you're still not at peace. Focus on how much power you lose to these negative feelings. Your goal is to realize that you choose to stay angry when you can choose to heal. And that's the thing. Sometimes what we'll do is, because we feel entitled to our anger, I'm the queen of it. I am entitled to be pissed. I'm entitled to, just to rage. And, yeah, you could sit in that energy all day long, but really at the end of the day, it's not strength, it's weakness, and it disempowers you, and you're in a highly reactive state, and it's very difficult to have any kind of peace, and not only within yourself, but also in your relationships outside of yourself when you're in that energy. So some of us just have to give up the story. We have to give up how much time that we put into a situation. I was just listening to, I think it's called The White Underbelly. It's a YouTube channel. It's always black and, not always, but it looks like black and white is the cover photos. And it's just people's stories. Very interesting. I love to hear it. And I was watching one about these two guys that came out of the, heavy Mormon community, but it was like the cult with that one leader, and I can't remember his name. But they were talking about how they could stay angry, right? They could stay angry, and or they can choose to do something positive with this whole experience. So it was just about, you can choose the way that things are going to go. You can choose to be angry, you can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to grow and heal from this experience. So I love that. So we can make the choice. That's the Gemini coming through. Oh, I love this. The 10 of Swords, you guys. Wow. It's time to freaking get the hell out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on in your guys' lives, but it's time to say, see you later. The end of a situation that is going to bring you relief, but it also could bring you sadness, of course. This opportunity for new happiness. There's a weight that's going to be lifted off your shoulders, the end of an addiction, a melodramatic reaction. So it might be that we're actually feeling way more emotional about it than it's actually going to affect us. And I've had that happen to me before, where I was just like, oh my God, this is going to be the end of the world. And you get out the door and you're just like, wow, like I'm actually not that upset. That's crazy. So some of you guys, once you make this decision to leave or to cut something out or to be done with it, you're going to feel so much relief, because on the other side of that door is a new beginning for you. So this is the greatest act of self-love and care that you can give to yourself right now. Hope that resonates with someone. Okay, now we're going to go into the attracting love. So what energy should you focus on to attract love into your life? Now, love doesn't have to be romantic. This could be friends. You want to attract new friends. You want to, just attract love for yourself, right? So this is the romance angel cards. Let's go ahead and see what the angels have to say about love. And it doesn't have to be romantic, even though these are romantic angel cards. All right, what do we got? Oh, look, my cats have chewed my cards. Shocker. Okay, let go of control issues. To me, this is like anger too. Any kind of issues that you have that are controlling you, that are ruling you, it is time to basically let that situation go. And it's also, it says allow the situation to unfold naturally. If you're attached to something where it's like, I have to have this, if I don't have this, then I'm not going to be happy. Right there, that's sabotaging the opportunities that may come in the, like the universe delivers something else to you, but you're so focused on that one thing. No, this is what I want, and then something else comes along and you don't take it. It's like you're blocking that flow of what you're asking for. You're because you're trying to control what happiness means to you. And even though we all have an idea, this is about letting go and being a little bit more open to the experience of love in all different types of forms, instead of being so focused on a specific person or a specific thing. This right here is the Fairy Tarot cards. Let's go ahead and get a card that goes with this. We have the 10 of Autumn, which is the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles is a card of building a life with someone, building a legacy. This could also be family as well. So I feel like because of the family dynamic here, and because of maybe some of the stuff that maybe we're like kind of battling right now with all the 10 of Swords energy and 6 of Swords needing to step away, it might be time to start to work on deprogramming, right? Deprogramming some sort of family belief system, something that comes from your family. Maybe there's also, it's like, I have to have the kind of life that my parents had. It's that expectation or that unrealistic expectation of comparing ourselves to other people that needs to be let go. So there's just something where we need to let something flow, and we can't really do that because we have a lot of fixed ideas about what things should look like or what things ought to be. The 10 of Pentacles can also be, I need to feel financially secure. There's nothing wrong with wanting that, especially if that's how you saw, let's just say your mother was raised, you know, she was taken care of, you know, there was food on the table, there was that provider type of mentality. There's nothing really wrong with that. That's not toxic, but it becomes toxic when that's the only reason that you would want to choose a partner. We're not really choosing for like actual other things, such as really loving someone or really connecting with someone. Or it might be this is somebody that our parents or our religion has chosen for us. So that's kind of coming through as well. And I don't have a lot of advice in that department because obviously I've never lived in those circumstances. So it's a little unfair for me to even give advice on that. But I feel like if some of you guys are maybe coming, like trying to disconnect or coming out of that lifestyle or, you know, that culture or whatever, I feel like this is something that's going to be very positive for you because you're going to attract the right partner for you instead of what society says or your culture or your parents say. But I feel like just without all that other stuff, this is pretty simple, and it's just basically saying that we've got to let go of some idea that we have that our person, it's funny because I have a friend, I love her dearly, but the thing is she has this specific thing where she has to have a guy that's like 6'5" and above. You know, and she's like 5 foot. You know, I have to have a guy that's 6'5" and above. He has to look like this. He has to do that. And I'm just like, she's, you know, it's very difficult for her to meet someone because she has this like almost impossible criteria that really is, quite frankly, it's superficial. You know what I mean? How about like a guy that you could love, that's going to love you, that you could freaking trust, that wants to like have a commitment with you? Like that would be a better place to start, right? So it's just funny how sometimes we have like our little quirks and things that do it for us, but it's like time to change the story is what I'm getting here. If we really want to attract real true love into our lives, we're going to have to do away with some of the superficial crap. Yeah, that's the message. That's why Spirit's bringing that analogy to me. Yeah, trust. Okay, yeah, trust is more important really than anything. It doesn't mean like, oh, you don't want to attract somebody that you're attracted to, right? But it's interesting because I've dated all kinds of different people, and some people, you know, have been like, wow, they're so freaking gorgeous. Like you're just almost, you're so nervous around them. They're that good looking. And then there's been other times where it's just like very average people, but you build something. There's an intellectual spark. There's a different bond that doesn't really start with the actual attraction. And I've actually found those particular relationships to be a lot longer and a lot more quality, actually, when it wasn't really based on just the the way someone makes you feel because of the dreaming look in their eyes. It's like it's all fun and everything, but if something ain't happening on the out or inside, you don't really have a lot. So I feel like this is telling us too, when it comes to are the qualities that we're looking for in a person. It's time to raise the bar in that department. It's time to raise our standards in the department. And also this is about trusting that the person that's meant for you, and the person that is out there that's looking for the same things as you, that you guys will come together at the right place in the right time. I didn't get married, you guys, until I was 38. I mean, seriously, like that kind of seems old, right? Because a lot of people I know, they got married when they were freaking in their 20s, but I didn't get married until later in life. And I'm really glad because, I'm pretty sure, 38. Mr. Moon and I, we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, you guys, in May. It's crazy. We've been together for 14, but we'll be married for 10. And it is definitely an achievement. I'll tell you that. It's quite an achievement because there's a lot of things within 10 years that you're going to learn, and you're going to grow, and you're going to go through a bunch of shit. And it's hard. It is hard growing with someone. It's easier, I feel, to do it by yourself. But I feel like overall what this is telling us is that this is about having faith that what you're looking for is also looking for you. And when the two of you are ready to come together, that will organically happen. We don't have to force. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to try. Just like sit back on your couch and do nothing, and the universe is just going to bring a freaking delivery guy to your doorstep. It's not like that. We may have to take certain steps or measures, such as join a group, a social group, or maybe a website that's like a dating website. There might be certain things that you feel called to do, and that's the universe co-creating with you to push you. If you don't feel good about yourself right now, if you don't feel like you look good or you don't feel good, it might be that it's time to change up a routine, such as working out and getting back in shape and feeling good and eating healthy. If you're feeling guided to do those things, trust that you're being guided to make certain moves in order to bring this what you're looking for into your life. And we have the Prince of Spring. This is the Knight of Wands. It's Sagittarius energy. This is about expansion and opening up your mind. And this is also about you just being really confident right now. I feel like that's what Spirit's trying to tell you to focus on. Don't focus on actually meeting someone right now. It doesn't mean you can't date, but really try to relax in that department, and just if you are dating or whatever, don't try to force anything to happen. If a connection's not there, don't force it. This is about kind of being free. That's the freedom card to me. It's about being free. It's also about traveling, maybe taking this opportunity to do some things that you usually won't do in a relationship. It's kind of interesting. There's so many things that you'll do when you're brokenhearted and when you're single, and then when you get into a relationship and you're comfortable, it's kind of you just kind of you just kind of slip up and you stop doing certain things, or you don't really feel the need to go out and have those adventures. So some of you guys are single right now. Spirit is basically saying take advantage of this time, live your life, and have some experiences, because every single experience that you have, it's going to, in a way, build your resume of life. And I got a lot of those. All right, let's see what else. We also have reconciliation. So, of course, Spirit wanted to throw in something here for some of you guys that are looking to let go of a past person. But it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Not everybody from your past does there have to be this, it's bad to be connected to them still. I do so many readings on my channel about soul connections, lost love. There's a reason that we feel a connection to someone from our past. There might be something for us to still clear and heal and learn, but there could also be a reason, maybe we will come back together with those people from the past. But it does say that there's someone from your past that maybe either wants to enter into your life, but it's here for a reason. So let's see what this is about. We have the Magician. So the Magician is Mercury's energy. It's also Gemini and Virgo. So we have double Gemini that's come up so far in this reading. It could be twin flame energy for some of you guys, because the Gemini is the twins. But to me, this is about manifestation. Some of you guys are working on maybe manifesting someone into your life. Now, you're not trying to bend the will of another person or cast spells on someone. It's not like that. But it very much is you have someone in mind from your past that, you're wondering what's happening to them. You're thinking about them for a reason. reason. And I feel like it might possibly be they're thinking about you and reminiscing about you as well. And so an opportunity will present itself on your path at some point, but you want to continue to move forward and live your life and have experiences. Whatever is meant to be for you will find its way to you on your path. So I feel like it's a reminder not to sit around and put our life on hold and wait for people. Let's continue to live our lives. Whatever is meant for you, which it looks like some of you, it could be someone from the past coming back into your life. You will eventually meet up on this road. So have faith in divine timing. Beautiful. All right. So that's basically what we're attracting into our life. All right. Now we're going to go into the obstacles to overcome. So what challenges or obstacles might you encounter in your romantic journey? Okay, so what obstacles are you going to encounter or might, I don't want to say you will, but you might encounter. This is the Essential Oil Oracle cards. What obstacles might you encounter on your journey? Okay, so we have lavender. It says, no one understands me. So we got to balance this out. Some of us feel like, you know, we're just, again, I was listening to another one of the white underbelly, and there was this guy, and they call it something where he's attracted to women, but he doesn't have any connection. Like he has a hard time with women. It's a certain type of a guy. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, you know, that is, of course, such an isolating feeling. When you feel like no one gets you, it's almost like the energy just keeps building and building and building. And it gets to a point where people can feel that energy. So they're almost like repelled by it. And it's not our fault why it happens. There's a lot of trauma, obviously, around that. But this is telling us we've got to get to a place in our lives where we're feeling like we can connect with other people. So this could be an obstacle for us. The true statement is, I ask for what I need. Some of us could just be afraid. We're so afraid of not getting our needs met because, let's just say, I'm not a therapist or anything, but let's just say that we didn't get our needs met as a child. We asked for something and our parents were like, no, or they just simply didn't give it. So that is going to have long-term effects on you, especially if it didn't get healed as a child, as an adult. So this is talking about, you know, getting to a healing place. Lavender is very healing, where we're working with our inner child. We could do this through like a 12-step recovery programs, which are free. We've got Codependence Anonymous. We've got, Al-Anon, whatever, 12-step program works for you, free. Maybe working with a therapist or joining a community of like-minded individuals. Or simply reading self-help books, meditating, adopting some sort of a spiritual practice. All of these things will be helpful when it comes to balancing ourselves and getting in touch with the place that we need to heal. So it says, from a place of love, you need to stand up and speak your truth. What you wish for is what the universe wishes for you. So that's the thing. We've got to kind of step back into our power and no longer be afraid to speak our truth. And how that is going to happen is going to be different for each individual out there. I'm not here to give advice on that, but I just feel like if this is an issue for you, I feel like the Spirit is working with you to kind of point you in the direction of healing in this area. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a tarot card on that. This is called the Archangel Power Tarot cards. All right, we have the Nine of Wands, and this is interesting to me because this is the Archangel Gabriel is the Archangel of communication. So I feel like what's being communicated right now, it's Nine of Wands as a card is, I've been wounded and I've got to put my defenses up. I can't let anyone in. This is a defense tactic. So meaning that we're not going to ask what we want, but we're going to perhaps be upset when other people don't meet our needs. And I've done that many, many times. There was a place I was working for, it's a salon, and I just remember it was just ridiculous the way that the pay scale was and everything. And so I basically told them I'm giving you my notice. And they're just like, well, why didn't you tell us that you needed this to be changed? Like, instead of just giving us your notice, why didn't you communicate your needs? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. You know what I mean? And so, sometimes we expect people to read our minds or just know, and they're not going to do that. So it is up to us in this life to basically find a way to figure out why do we not feel safe speaking our truth? Why do we feel safer keeping it deep down inside? And then, of course, when we do this, the resentment builds and it's just no good for anybody. So there is some sort of defense mechanism or something that we're doing that is kind of keeping us at a distance from the things that we actually truly want. And we've got to work on that. All right, what else? Okay, so we have motivation, encouragement, or encouraging. I don't know where to start. Trigger statement. Yeah. I take action now. So you will find clarity and the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. How many times do we get into these excuses as I don't even know where to start. So I don't have time. I don't have this. Look, if you really, really want to make something happen, you're going to find a way. That's it. You're going to find a way. And this goes for a variety of things in life. You know, we can make excuses all day long, and other people, we can make excuses for other people. But if people aren't doing shit, it's because truly deep down inside, they either are overwhelmed and don't know how, or they just don't want to. Either way, life is not going to happen for you if you are waiting for people to do things, or if you keep putting things on hold. So there is something here where we can do something. We can take action right now to change our lives and stop making excuses. We have the Ten of Pentacles coming up for a second time in this reading, so I feel like it's meaningful. The Ten of Pentacles is, of course, about being at the ultimate achievement, you know, living, going throughout our lives and like putting certain plans in place, like having a plan. I want to have a home. I want to have this. I want to have that. You can have these things. You can. But the only thing that's holding you back is yourself, is what Spirit is trying to say here. So you can have that commitment. You can have that marriage if that's what you want. You can have that business, or you can have that home and that financial security. You will have those things, but you have to take action. We can't just, it's not enough to just sit around and think about it. We've got to take some sort of action on these things. So if you guys have something that you want to do, Spirit is saying that there's no better time than now to start taking action towards those goals. You're the only person that's going to really stand in your way. All right, last one. We have Clary Sage, Insight. There is no hope. And that's tough. There is a higher purpose. Connect with your higher self and allow it to guide you to your higher purpose. As the veil of illusion falls away, you will find your answer. Yeah, so it's just an illusion, of course, that there is no hope, right? I've been there many times, and it's just interesting. It's like each time I go there, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I've been here before, and I know that it's bullshit, but I'm still suffering in this moment. I'm still wallowing in the pits. I'm still absolutely miserable. Why can't I pull myself out? Look, there's lots of things that are going on that can cause us to feel depressed and hopeless. It could be hormones in my case. It could be actual, chemical imbalances, bipolar, depression, things like that. All of those things are very difficult to battle. And I'm not going to sit here and say I have the answers for it, because I don't. But again, this is Spirit's way of saying that if you feel like maybe this is something that is ruling your emotions or ruling your life, it is time for you to take action steps towards it. And right now I'm taking certain action steps towards, balancing my hormones and things. And so it's like I am taking action on that. So it's saying that when we feel like there is no hope, it's just an illusion. It's just a story that we're telling ourselves. It's just a hopelessness place that we go to, or a hopeless place that we go to. And we've been there before, but we know we're going to bounce back. So it's Spirit's way of saying, get either the support that you need, or start taking action steps towards healing this kind of pitfall. This wanted to fall out. We have the Chariot. That's Cancer's energy, and Archangel Metatron. Determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. We can. That's the card of yes. Hell yes, you can. You can victoriously balance these energies, because that's the dark and light that's within all of us. And remember, I was saying that, the darkness that's within you, it's always going to be there. It's a part of who you are. It's your shadow side, and your shadow side can sometimes save your ass and be positive in your life, because it can help you to set healthy boundaries. Those little red hair, or those fine little hairs that stand up on the back of your neck, that says get the hell out of there, that fight or flight response, that's all that shadow energy here. The trauma reminding you of something, it's there for a reason. But sometimes it can take you into the pits of being hopeless. And, that's not going to be, it's not going to empower you at that point, but you can learn to balance both the shadow and light aspects of yourself, and be a badass and be a boss and be commanding, but also be very supportive and empathic and understanding and sensitive and receptive. So this to me is like balancing out the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. Okay. So it's about gaining insight into maybe these aspects of yourself and why maybe you're feeling imbalanced. So I feel like there's something that we need to address. Why do we feel imbalanced? Let's get to the root of that. If we can get to the root of that and start working on that, then we're going to be able to make some headway on our journey. It's beautiful. And this is telling me here, you can. I love it. All right. Now we're going to go into romantic opportunities. So what potential romantic opportunities or experiences can you look forward to? Let's look at this. This right here is the Healers of the Earth Oracle. We have quench your thirst. Be receptive. It's interesting that I just talked about that. Be receptive. Some of you might be too much in your masculine. I personally have been in my masculine probably most of my life because I felt like I had to be. Very dominant, very like, I just always in control, needing to be in control. I also have a Virgo moon, so that's a part of it. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I felt safer being in that energy. I did not feel safe receiving at all. I was always a giver, not a receiver. And I'm not saying I've never taken or never received anything. It's just that in the majority of my relationships, I've always been more comfortable giving. Giving. And it's funny because I've actually met other people like that too, and when you see it outside of yourself, you're like, whoa, like, where does this come from? Why is this? Right? So there is something here where it comes to romantic opportunities, potential. You have to be in this position to receive it. Okay. You have to soften your energy a little bit. You've got to work on rounding out some of those sharp edges. And Spirit is basically saying when you are truly ready and you have also replenished yourself and you've worked on your own cup, you will receive. I think that's such a beautiful message. So the way that you feel about yourself and also what you deserve will show up. We have the wheel. Yeah, this is Sagittarius energy again. So fresh new start or the end of delays. Fantastic. So if you guys have been feeling that, the universe hasn't really been working in your favor, if you have dedicated and have been determined to really up your game, work on yourself, improve yourself, it does look to me like this is starting a new cycle for you. So there's going to be some sort of unexpected and positive changes that are coming to your life. We also have travel again. So if you guys feel called to travel or to move somewhere, it might be that once you do that, there could be some experiences that are destined for you, because the wheel is also a card of destiny, that are destined for you. You're destined to receive something in a new cycle or in a new area, or when you try your hand at something new. So definitely try some new things, you guys, because this is going to open up, I feel, the floodgates for what the universe has in store for you. Ooh, feng shui, butterfly, change. Oh yeah, look at this. Renewal. Releasing obstructions. So there is something that needs to change in your environment. It's either your work, where you live, or something. Now, it doesn't mean that you guys have to move. Not everybody has to move or quit their freaking job. But there's something that needs to change. I don't know what it is. There could be like maybe you throw some new paint on the walls. Okay, I've done that my entire life, and boy, has it really, really made a difference. But this could also just be the way that you are living your life. When you wake up every morning, your routine, something has to shift, something has to change in your energy field, because Spirit is wanting to flow something new to you, but it's like there's some obstructions. There's something's not flowing. Something's not flowing in your energy field. So it's time to figure out what those things are and do away with them. Mm-hmm. So like if you guys, let's just say, this is just an example, and I like to use this one a lot. Let's just say that you want to meet somebody new, but yet you keep looking at your ex on social media. You keep checking their social media, but you're telling the universe that you want to meet someone new. That right there, that's the obstruction. Just that action alone is very confusing. It's very confusing. I want something new, but yet I'm stuck and hung up on the past. Right? We've got to make a choice. We've got to make that shift, or else things are just not going to happen. Okay, we have Sagittarius again. So I don't know if somebody's Sagittarius here, but Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about luck. It's all about change. It's all about expansion, opening up your mind, traveling. And it's also about your belief systems, spirituality, all of those things. So something has to shift and change perhaps in your mindset, your mental state as well. We have to expand beyond our current belief system, whatever that might be, because that could be holding us back in some department. But this right here is reconciliation. Okay. So if you are looking to reconcile, and this could be about that person from the past. Okay. So some of you guys are not looking to actually, meet someone new, and that is okay. Absolutely. That is okay. But it is that making sure that you're balanced in your physical world. Your entire life is not consumed by the past, that you're not living a past timeline, that you're still able to have one foot in your actual reality, the 3D world. It's very important because you still have a life to live, you still have experiences to have, and you still have a purpose to basically, explore. So we can be balanced. We don't have to let one take over the other. So I really feel like that probably speaks to people that are looking to reconcile with that person from the past. Just make sure you're balanced. And we have cherished pet. Aw, this is so cute. Okay, so this is interesting. It says, what potential romantic opportunities can you look forward to? Cherished pet. I don't exactly know what that means. I'm not going to make it up. Spirit is probably saying that it may be that through a pet, right? That right there is like your companion. Maybe some of you guys are looking to get a pet. This would be really wonderful. Maybe some of you guys have a pet right now, and this this cat or pet, it could be a dog, it could be anything. Is really going to bring a lot of love to your life. And so that might be a good thing as well for you. So that's really all I'm getting on that. Yeah, we do have something that the universe is handing over to you with the Six of Pentacles, but this is reciprocal. So this just means that if you do happen to meet someone, it might be that you're outdoors in like some kind of a dog park or something, or that's like the only animal that I could think that you would be walking around. Not really a cat, like a dog, and you meet somebody when you're outdoors. So that could be a shift that Spirit's asking you to take, is to go outdoors. Maybe if you've been wanting to get a pet or dog, it might be that this is a good time to do that because it's going to get you out. You're going to be walking around. You're going to be going to, the lake or the beach or this path or this hike. And it might be that that's enough to get you out of the house and out in nature and out into the, basically the universe, to put yourself out there to meet this person, because there's somebody is handing something. You're exchanging energies with someone. This is great. So I feel like that's probably the message. If some of you guys have felt guided to get a pet, it might be that this is going to actually get you out. And that might be how you meet this person. That's what I got for you. So, all right. Now we're going to go into communication. How can you improve communication in your current or future relationships? Ooh, let's look at this. This is called the Self-Care Wisdom cards. How can you improve your communication? We already know that we need to speak our truth. Interesting. We have listen. Okay. So it says people start to heal the moment they feel heard. All right. So first of all, this is another confirmation that we do need to feel heard. All right. We do. So maybe it is, yes, you listening, but it's also about being heard as well. Nobody likes to talk to somebody that just dumps all their emotional trauma on you. And then of course you try to talk about yourself and then they immediately revert back to you. Yeah, that sucks. No one enjoys that. It feels like a drain, an emotional vampire. And most likely you're just going to never want to talk to that person again, or you're just not going to want to connect with them. So we have to make sure that, we're not doing any emotional dumping or trauma dumping on people. That it's like reciprocal. It's a nice, easy exchange when we're talking to that person. Definitely also listen to what people are telling you. There's so many times in my life where people have actually told me who they are. And I'm like, no, that's not who you are. I'm thinking this. I'm thinking, no, that doesn't apply to me. Holy shit, I should have listened. So that right there, I feel, is another message, is that if somebody tells you something, you need to listen, because if you don't, you're more than likely going to experience some sort of situation because you didn't listen. And also listen to your intuition. If your spidey senses are going and you're feeling something, you're sensing something is off, pay attention to that. And if somebody doesn't want to talk about it, or somebody isn't willing to be truthful with you, you have some decisions to make on, even investing in that person or that relationship. And then also, if somebody is like not listening to you and it's all about them, and I did bring this up, that's really difficult. That's really, really difficult. And it's not balanced. All right, so we have the Tower. I feel like a lot of you guys have had some experiences already where you said too much, you shared too much, or you've been like the doormat for somebody or their emotional punching bag where they're just dumping everything on you. This goes for not only romantic relationships, but friendships as well. We've got to be very careful because there are a lot of people out there that are either unaware of themselves or they're just selfish as hell and they don't care. Either way, if you're an empathic, sensitive person, it's going to be very difficult for you to, kind of like sense, because you just want to connect with people, right? You're looking to connect very deeply. You will have to put up some boundaries and you will have to pay attention to those red flags, and you'll have to learn, have like certain little things like, okay, nope, this is a checklist. This is not, I don't do this, and just stick to it, because you're going to save yourself a lot of time not even going down that road with that particular type of person. And it might feel like you're being cruel. It might feel like, but you're going to know your pitfalls. You're going to learn through your experiences. You're going to know what you can handle and what you can't, and what kind of a person is going to be good for you, and what people are going to just really take you down energetically. So I feel like what this is telling us is that we really, really need to listen to our energy and how we feel around people. And if we're feeling off, yes, it could be something that's unresolved within us, but still, it's not going to do you any good to continue to dabble in that if you're not healed. You see what I'm saying? So we've got to also listen and let go of old belief systems that no longer work for us. So when we're talking to someone or when we're getting to know someone, is an old narrative or an old story playing? We also have to be able to identify if it's just old trauma playing out. So I feel like through your experiences through life, you've learned a lot already, but you're going to continue to learn. You might have some pitfalls still. You might have some fails. You might have some situations that basically are just traumatic, unfortunately, but it's because you're still learning. So as long as you're coming from that place of, you know what, it's an experience. Life is an experience. You're not going to feel so victimized with each situation where maybe somebody couldn't get on the same page with you, or somebody basically is not meeting your emotional needs or whatever. We're going to learn bit by bit from every person and situation, and we're going to learn to, I don't really want to use that word perfect, but we are going to learn to upgrade our energy from each experience. Mind. You are the master of your inner world, and you decide how the outer world affects you. Yes, cultivate a calm inner state. And that's so true. That is so true. Like I said, you guys, sometimes you do have to cut people out. Sorry, you just do. It's just the way it goes. But the thing is, the way that you allow yourself to be reacted or triggered by people, that's really about, like, if you can build that strength and master that skill of being unaffected. And it's so funny because I've actually learned this probably for all last year and going into this year. So many things used to trigger me on social media or my comments and the hate and the trolls and all this other stuff. I just let it roll right the fuck off. You know, I'm not trying to say I don't care, but it's like the amount of time that I used to stew over it, and that I would always bring it up during a reading, like, you know, if people aren't happy and, you know, you don't resonate, and, you know, it's just like, I don't feel the need anymore. I really am free of it, and it's really wonderful. And I'm not saying that there wouldn't be that one time that it's just the right mood, you know, striking the right chord. But for the majority, I feel like I've somewhat mastered that in myself. And so when I'm reading these comments, or I'm exposed to certain things, or I see certain things, I'm not so affected by it. And I feel like that's the example I want to use for you guys. It's when you have these conversations and you're feeling like, when you work on being really centered within yourself, the experiences that you have are not going to rock you so hard. You're not going to feel devastated with the loss of a person. You know, like if somebody doesn't like you or doesn't want to be your friend, you're not going to be rocked to the core. If that person that you were really into turns out to not be your person, or they're just not that into you as you are to them, it's not going to rock your identity. And that's what I feel like that's telling us here. So this right here is, how can we improve communication? We can improve the communication and the relationship that we have with ourselves. And this is going to speak volumes to everything that's going on outside of us. So if your inner chatter is peaceful and you're mindful, it's not going to rock you to your core anymore what other people say, what they think of you, or what they do. It's just not. Love it. Yeah, done. See ya. The world, Saturn's energy, burden gone. Burden of what other people think. It's like none of your business, right? It's like that book. What other people think about me is none of my business. It just slides, and I love to say this, it just slides right the fuck off. That's it. So this right here is a freedom. This is a freedom of other people's power over what you feel and what you think. It's golden, baby. I feel like you are mastering this. You are here to master it. And if you've gone through a lot of shit, that's why, because you came here to master this lesson. And you can't really master anything unless you are put to the test. So, love it. And we have rituals. This is cool. Steady yourself with simple rituals. Do the dishes, fold laundry, water the plants, make a cup of tea, let wisdom sneak up on you. And Spirit uses me a lot for these types of readings because I'm always like trying to work something, like, be better, improve, this and that. Rituals for me, it's like when I wake up, I have a certain ritual. And I stick to it every single day because that's just what I need. That's what I need in order to stay on track. And if I don't have that, then I can go haywire because a lot of the addictions that I have, the addiction to, just scrolling social media for hours. Oh, that was a bad one. Or, sugar and indulging and just going crazy, just like overindulgence in everything that I do. This right here keeps me sane. It keeps me on track. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is that the communication that we have with ourselves every single day, like we're touching base, like we're connecting with our base every single day and saying, okay, this is what I got going on today. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to stay on track. This is going to be good for us. That's what that's saying here. It's going to be really good for us. And I actually just recently did a releasing ritual. Oh, it was so cathartic and wonderful. And it could be some of you guys, something that maybe you've needed to say to someone, but you're not going to actually like call them up and say it because there's no reason to do that. It's somebody from your deep past. There's no reason to like open up that door, but you have a lot of resentment still. Yeah. And maybe you need to forgive that person. Rituals like this where we write something down, maybe we burn it or whatever, it can be very, very helpful, and it can help you to feel freedom. So that's also coming through too. Yeah, I love that. 4 swords. This right here is, healing, taking some time out. Taking some time out also to do some things for yourself. So the way that you communicate to yourself and the way that you communicate your needs, if you're not taking care of your own needs and you're not taking time for you, then other people, the communication that you're putting out there, like the vibe that you're putting out there is, oh, you're just basically on call 24/7. You don't need any downtime. You can keep going. I can keep pushing you and working you like a dead horse. Yeah. So that's also something to be mindful of, is the way that we're displaying like who we are in the world. If we're not centered, or I don't want to use the word center, but balanced, then other people are like, oh, this person is just like on the go 24/7. That means I can rely on them 24/7. They're going to do anything that I ask them to do. They're going to, it's great to be relied upon and trusted like that. Like people can count on you. But when you're like an overdoer or an overgiver, I'm raising my hand over here because I've dealt with this shit. Then people are just like, oh, you're in it for the long haul, like all the time. And then you get exhausted, and then you feel used, and then you feel like people are taking and they're not really giving anything back. And then you just basically end up hating yourself at the end of the day. So this right here also helps us. If we can touch base with ourselves and really, really take care of ourselves, we're going to lessen a lot of the people in our environment that are taking because they feel entitled to. Because you're like setting it up that way. So I hope that makes sense. So how we communicate is very, very important. The way that we communicate how we love ourselves and how we treat ourselves is the way that other people are going to get with the program and start treating us that way too. All right, now we're going to go into love's lesson. What valuable lesson can I learn about love and relationships? All right, let's see what Spirit has to tell us about lessons in love. This is the Kali, Goddess Kali Oracle. All right, tell us, what lessons did we have to learn, or are we still learning in love? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this. Okay. Ooh, beautiful. All right. I don't know how to say that name, but it says Shidashi, maybe? Cleanses the soul from past hurts. Ooh, okay, so we got some past hurts here. Her presence indicates recovery and a reclaiming of dignity after experiences of being judged, betrayed, or criticized. If your innate being has been put down in any way, or if there has been bullying or nastiness directed towards you, Shidashi brings healing and renewal so you can rise above and lay claim to your innate beauty and worth. Wow. How many of you have been shamed or blamed, judged, criticized, betrayed, all of that stuff, put down by other people? I can think of a shit ton of times in my life personally where people have done that. And what's interesting is that, after you kind of get over shaming yourself and taking on that identity that other people are putting on you, once you reclaim that power, you start to realize people are literally projecting. Okay. It doesn't mean that I don't want to say like blameless, but it doesn't mean that like maybe you're not doing something that someone's like, wow. But usually people that are just like that harsh to judge you and really do a good job of shaming you and saying a lot of terrible things about you, like they literally go out of their way to make you feel like shit. Somebody like that, they got a lot of healing to do. They got a lot of inner demons and shadow that they have not dealt with. So whatever they're seeing, it's just something that is really raw within them that they haven't even touched. So it's easier to blame you and shame you than look at themselves. So I feel like this right here is something where we have had to learn a very valuable lesson, that what other people really are doing that's quite awful, it really is about them, you guys. It's not really about us. It's about them. And when you can get to that place, you're going to experience so much more peace, and you can let go of that need to shame yourself. Knight of Michael, Knight of Swords. I do feel, you guys, that there has been a person, probably a masculine figure in your life, that's really been harsh, said some shit to you that you might even still hold on to today, where it's just like, wow, I can't believe that you were so cruel. Okay. So yes, I do feel like there has been a very cruel person that has said something to you that has just gotten under your skin, and it's very, very difficult to clear this energy. And so I feel like with what I just said, with what came through, that's kind of the place that you need to get to, is to realize that this person has a lot of shame and a lot of unresolved crap within themselves. And this is the reason why they're lashing out and they're so cruel to other people. Okay. We have the Two of Swords. I do feel like some of you guys are probably still struggling with this. That you're still, like, you haven't had any closure or healing with this person. And I know this is going to be a triggering statement, but some of you guys may never have the opportunity to see this person or speak to them ever again. So you're going to have to get to a point within yourself where you're making amends. And I feel like that's why Spirit used the example of the ritual that I did just a couple of weeks ago, because I'm like, I don't think I would ever probably see this person or hear from them again, but I needed to do it. I needed to do it for myself. And so I'm no longer at a stalemate with this person in my mind. I've let that energy go. Now it's flowing. Now I'm able to move past that and move on. I no longer have to carry around that story anymore about what they said or what they did to me. So this, I feel, is one of the things that we do really need to kind of learn, is let's take the lesson, whatever that might have been, and let's try to move forward past this, because we don't want to let this person's cruelty or their words play out in our mind any longer. They've already lived in our headspace rent-free for too fucking long. And now we have the King of Wands, and I love this because the King of Wands, I feel, is a lot more, it's like, this is you. This is you standing up against this king here. You've got your fire. You've got your purpose. You're driven. You're leading. You're confident. You're sitting on your throne. You're in your power. It doesn't matter what this person has said or done to you. It can't shake you any longer. So that's what I'm getting here, is that you will or have taken your power back from this individual and from this situation. And now you're able to thrive. You're making all of this crap, whatever happened to you, you're surviving and you're thriving now. That's what you're supposed to do with this energy. So you may not get that closure. You may not get that apology that you so hope for, but you know what? At the end of the day, you have the power to turn this around and to make your life better because of it. So that's a very valuable lesson, is to basically take what you can from your past, the shitty things, and make all that pain matter and make it work for you. Okay? Make it work for you. So let's go ahead and go into our last messages, you guys. This right here is the heart's desire. What are my deepest desires and aspirations and matters of the heart? Okay, so what deep desires do you guys have? And what can you do with this? This is the Goddess Guidance Oracle. I love this. Peace. So remember, we were talking about peace. It says, there is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. So your heart's desires, you are desiring to just have peace. And the fact that you even want the peace, you want that, you desire it. This is telling me here, you're going to get it. You're on the road to getting that peace. Absolutely. If you want to be in a peaceful state, you're going to take the guidance that Spirit is giving you right now, or the guidance you just have within, and you're going to adopt certain behaviors and certain rituals, certain things that are going to create that peace. You're not going to go into situations and spend time with people that don't bring you peace. You're not going to engage in behaviors that don't bring peace. So you're going to be mindful. So your heart desires peace. You're going to create peace. But it does start with you. You've got to actively choose things that do bring you peace and disengage from things that don't make you feel peaceful. So it's a choice. We have the Five of Cups. There's something about the past, okay? Focusing on the negative. So there's a past situation that was definitely very hurtful. So you may wish to change it. You may wish it would have gone differently. You may spend a lot of time ruminating on what you wish you could have said or done differently. And even though we can learn from our past mistakes, and so, ruminating over it can serve a positive purpose. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. But to get stuck in that past story and that past timeline, that's not really going to help us either. I do a lot of readings here on past love, like lost love. And the reason that I do it is because I feel that it can be helpful to people. It's not to get them to hang on or give them false hope. It's to basically let them know that this experience did serve a purpose. And sometimes it can be very helpful to just tap into the other person to see, what they actually do feel badly about what they did. They may not be coming forward. They may never come over. But sometimes that right there is enough to start the healing process. Just to know that, somebody does feel like shit for what they did. Because most people are not monsters. Most people are not completely, with no freaking conscience. There might be a few, but the majority of people are not walking around with no feeling whatsoever. So it can be helpful. But focusing on the negative of what somebody said to you, again, that ruminating, that King of Swords, somebody that has that kind of power over you, they're robbing you of peace. They're robbing you of your present experiences because you're so focused and upset about the past. What Spirit is saying here is that we can make a choice. We can make a choice because this person that's standing there, what they're doing is they're actually blocking out other people and situations that do want to love them, that do want to give them love. That's what they're doing. They're blocking out, like the Spirit is saying, hey, here you are. We're giving you what you're asking for, but you have your back turned to it because you're so focused on the past. So that is what's going on here, is that you can have your heart's desire, but you do have to make active effort every single day to choose to not focus so heavily and get lost in the past. Remember, it's balance. Okay. I like that. All right. Let's go ahead and see what else. All right. We have Matt, fairness. This to me is like the justice. Okay. There's something that happened to you that was not fair. It wasn't. It was unfair. And sometimes it does take somebody saying that to you, like, that was really fucked up, just to acknowledge that what happened to you was not right, okay? But shitty things happen every single day to good people, or people that don't deserve things. They didn't deserve it. But we have to kind of step away from this, I need to balance the scales of justice here. Sometimes it's beautiful and it works out. We hear, I'm not going to lie. You hear that somebody's life just really didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go, or they treated you like shit and you heard something terrible happen. Yeah, there's a part of you that's just like, good. Sometimes that's how you feel. But the thing is, we don't always get to hear or see people learn from their mistakes. Sometimes people straight up don't. There are people out in the world, unfortunately, where they're just going to keep doing them. And it does seem like they're getting away with murder, and it seems like there's no consequences. But the thing is, you guys, we really don't know what's going on deep down inside within people. So I feel like what this is telling us here is that make it your goal to try not to focus on the injustice, and try to not focus on, is somebody gonna get theirs? I mean, I do readings here and there, like, what's this person's karma? And that can be quite enjoyable and entertaining for some people, because it is kind of nice to know, like, hey, does this person feel like shit? Is this person's life falling apart? Again, we're not like wanting that, but it's only human to be like, okay, maybe that's the scales of justice are being balanced there because someone got their karma. But the thing is, it's going to be handled in the universe, like in a universal way. And sometimes the universal way of karma is not, we don't get to see it. We don't get to hear about it. We just simply have no choice but to carry on with our lives. And it can be hard. It can be hard, full of, being in a world full of so many things that are unfair. But if we get hung up in that story of it's not fair, it's not right, and we're constantly like, we're going to rob ourselves of peace every step of the way. That's the point here. So make it your heart's desire to be in a peaceful state, and to try to pull away from, oh my God, see, I'm telling you to pull away from the right or wrong. Like, this person did me dirty, did me wrong. All we're doing now is, again, we are giving that person power over us, and we're giving them the ability to live in our mind rent-free time and time again. So we have to ask ourselves, how long are we willing to do that? So justice coming up, double justice here. This is Spirit's way of telling you guys, we got it. We got it. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to keep tabs on it. We got it. So just trust, okay? Trust. Have peace in your heart. Choose peace today and trust that people are going to learn what they need to learn in their own way, whether you know about it or not. Last one. Ooh, I love this. Medicine woman, you are a channel of divine healing power. So maybe some of you guys are coming into some sort of a spiritual gift that you have, or a healing ability, or just some sort of talent. And Spirit is basically saying that right now something is being given to you, and you are supposed to do something with this. But you can't really do shit if you're caught up in all this old crap and all of these heavy emotions, or in that blame game. You're not really going to be able to get in touch fully and completely with this new gift or skill, or just your purpose, the things that you're supposed to do. All right, so let's get one last card. So make it your deepest desire to let go of those with peace in your heart, and forgive those who have done you dirty, done you wrong. Have the faith in knowing that things are getting handled in a just manner, and focus on your life purpose and your abilities right now. Yep. Because that's what it's going to do is it's going to help you to become unstuck. Because right now it seems like maybe, things are on hold for you, or things are just not really flowing the way that you want them to. So Spirit's saying, think about it. Change your mind, change your life. It's not that simple, but with practice, it will get easier. And that is what we're being told here today. So you've got to start looking at things in a whole new light. In order for your life to turn around, you have to apply yourself. It's not something that can just miraculously happen. And my stomach is growling so hard. So it's time to end this reading. Oh my God, I got to eat. So yeah, there we go. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Oh, one more thing. I just got this to me as somebody crown chakra, psychic. Some of you guys could be tapping into some sort of psychic powers, some sort of psychic gifts that you have. And Spirit is saying the more that you heal, the more of a clear channel you're going to be for Spirit to be able to do your life's mission and purpose and work. So that's what I got. So anyways, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was healing and empowering for you to hear these messages. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And yeah, just have a great rest of your weekend. You guys take care. Bye-bye.